Listen carefully, because what you're about to hear isn't just a message, it's a mirror. And if you allow it, it will show you exactly why you feel so drained, so overwhelmed, and so stuck, even when nothing around you seems that heavy. You are not exhausted because life is unbearable. You are exhausted because you have been carrying things that were never meant for you in the first place. Think about your mornings. Before your body even fully wakes up, your mind is already running. It jumps straight into unfinished conversations, imagined scenarios, silent arguments that never happened, and opinions you never needed to form. You're replaying someone's tone from 2 days ago, analyzing a look, predicting a reaction that hasn't even occurred yet. And all of this happens before your day even begins. So by the time you step into your responsibilities, you're already drained. Not physically, mentally. Not because life demanded too much, but because your mind gave too much to things that don't matter. This is where most people misunderstand their struggle. They think their life is complicated because their circumstances are complicated. They believe that if they fix one problem, solve one situation, or get past one difficult phase, everything will finally feel easier. But it never does, because the real weight was never in the situation. The real weight is in your reaction to it. The real weight is in how much energy you give to things that have no authority over your direction. And here's the truth most people avoid. The more you care about everything, the harder your life becomes. Not because caring is wrong, but because you're caring about the wrong things. You care about opinions that don't build your future. You care about judgments from people who don't understand your path. You care about outcomes you cannot control. You care about every small shift, every tiny disruption, every meaningless detail. And slowly, without realizing it, all that unnecessary care starts shrinking you. It slows your thinking. It weakens your focus. It makes you easier to disturb. And once you're easy to disturb, you're easy to control. Because control doesn't always come from force. Most of the time, it comes from distraction. People don't need to overpower you to take you off your path. They just need to disturb you. A small comment, a slight tone, a moment of doubt, a hint of criticism, and suddenly, your mind does the rest. You start overthinking. You start questioning yourself. You start reacting instead of acting. You start losing clarity. And before you realize it, you're no longer moving forward. You're just spinning. Not because someone stopped you, but because your own mind redirected you. And this is why life feels heavy. Not because it is, but because you filled it with noise. Your mind has become crowded with reactions, opinions, imagined outcomes, emotional weight, and unresolved thoughts that were never yours to hold. So the shift begins here. When you start caring less, not in a careless way, but in a controlled, intentional way, everything changes. Your mind doesn't become empty, it becomes quiet. And there's a difference. An empty mind is lost. A quiet mind is powerful. Because in that silence, your thinking becomes sharper, your decisions become cleaner, your actions become direct. You stop hesitating, you stop waiting for the perfect moment, you stop preparing endlessly without moving. You just move. And suddenly, life feels lighter. Not because your problems disappeared, but because you stopped adding unnecessary weight to them. You stopped turning small things into heavy burdens. You stopped feeding situations with energy they didn't deserve. You got out of your own way. And when that happens, control doesn't need to be forced. It becomes natural. Because clarity replaces confusion. Now understand this deeply. Most of the thoughts in your mind right now are not even truly yours. They're reactions. Someone said something, and your mind captured it. Someone acted a certain way, and your mind started analyzing it. Now it's replaying, adjusting, imagining, defending, predicting.
But none of that movement is actually moving your life forward. It's just noise. Constant, repetitive, draining noise. And if you don't learn to cut that noise, it will quietly consume your energy every single day. The mind, when left unchecked, becomes a reaction machine. It absorbs everything, opinions, expectations, criticism, comparison, and turns them into endless internal conversations that go nowhere. But when you start filtering what deserves your attention, something shifts. The unnecessary thoughts begin to fade. You stop arguing in your head with people who aren't even present. You stop rehearsing conversations that will never happen. You stop carrying the weight of imagined judgment.
And in that space, real thinking begins. Clear thinking, focused thinking, effective thinking. You don't need more ideas. You need fewer distractions. And one of the biggest distractions in modern life is this need to have an opinion on everything. Look around. People have strong views about situations that don't affect them, decisions made by people they've never met, events they didn't experience. And every opinion you form takes up space. Because your brain doesn't just store it, it protects it. It defends it. It reacts when it's challenged. Now you're emotionally invested in something that has no connection to your path. And slowly, that constant engagement drains you. But when you learn to step back, when you learn to say, "This doesn't require my attention," you free up space. You free up energy. You regain focus. Because your mind was never designed to carry everything. It was designed to direct you. The same goes for emotions. Not everything deserves your emotional involvement. But most people treat every situation like an invitation they must accept. Someone is upset, you observe it. Something goes wrong, you carry it. Someone disrespects you, you replay it. A plan changes, you stress over it. And suddenly, you're holding emotional weight from 10 different directions. That's not strength. That's overload. And an overloaded mind cannot think clearly. It defaults to fear. It avoids action. It freezes. But when you become selective, when you choose what deserves your emotional energy, everything becomes lighter. You still feel, but you don't carry everything. You observe more. You react less. You move better. Because you're no longer buried under unnecessary weight. Now look at how small things affect you. Tiny disruptions, minor inconveniences, small comments. These are not big problems, but they steal massive amounts of your focus. Because every time you react, you break your momentum. And momentum is everything. One small distraction can ruin hours of productivity, not because it was important, but because you gave it importance. But when you learn to let small things pass, when you stop giving them your energy, you protect your flow, you stay in motion, and that alone changes everything. Then comes decision-making. Most people struggle with decisions not because they're difficult, but because they care about too many variables. What if it goes wrong? What will people think? What if I regret it? What if I'm judged? All of these thoughts create complexity that doesn't exist in reality. When you remove them, decisions become simple. You focus on what matters. You choose. You move. And speed matters. Because in real life, the person who moves consistently will always outpace the one who thinks endlessly. Now let's talk about something deeper. Social pressure. Most people are not living their life, they are performing it. Every action is filtered through the question, how will this look? And that question alone slows everything down. Because now you're not acting for progress, you're acting for approval. And approval is unstable. It changes constantly, it contradicts itself, it pulls you in different directions. But the moment you stop needing it, you become free. Free to move, free to decide, free to build. Not recklessly, but authentically. And that authenticity creates power. Because now your actions are aligned with your goals, not with other people's expectations. Then comes overthinking. What most people call intelligence is often just fear repeating itself. Overthinking is not deep thinking, it's looping. It's going in circles, trying to find certainty that doesn't exist. And while you're stuck in that loop, you're not moving, you're waiting. But clarity doesn't come from waiting, it comes from action. Because action creates information, and information creates confidence. So instead of thinking more, start moving. Even if it's imperfect, because imperfect action always beats perfect inaction. Then comes attachment, the need for things to go a certain way. And this is where most anxiety comes from. Because when your peace depends on a specific outcome, you become fragile. Life doesn't always follow your plan. Things change, results shift, and if you're attached, you suffer. But when you detach, you don't stop trying, you just stop needing. You work just as hard, but with calm. You move forward without fear controlling you. And that calm gives you strength, because now you respond to reality, not to fear. And finally, your energy. This is your most valuable resource, not time, energy. Because without energy, time means nothing. And most people waste their energy on reactions, arguments, stress, unnecessary thinking. And by the time they reach what actually matters, they have nothing left. But when you protect your energy, when you choose where it goes, your focus becomes stronger, your actions become sharper, your results become better, and everything changes. Because now you are in control, not of the world, but of yourself. And that is the highest level of control anyone can reach. Because when nothing disturbs you, nothing controls you. Not opinions, not pressure, not fear. You stay steady, you stay clear, you move forward. And that is freedom. Real freedom. The kind that allows you to build your life instead of reacting to it. So now the question is simple. Not whether you understand this, but whether you will live it. Because everything you need is already here. All you have to do is let go of what was never yours to carry.